What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ravi Wadan, and in today's video, I want to talk about how the Tesla CyberTruck is the cheapest that it's ever been, and it's leasing better than it's ever leased. So what we'll do in this video is we'll head to the Tesla website and we'll look at the Tesla CyberTruck lease deal in detail. And if you're in the market for a Tesla CyberTruck, you'll get a lot of value from this video. I'll go over all of the details like the monthly payment, the due at signing amount, the buyout amount at the end of the lease term. Then in the second part of this video, I'll run my 1.25% rule of leasing on this CyberTruck and show you why it's a great lease deal in terms of value. And then in the third part of this video, I'll explain why leasing this Tesla CyberTruck makes a lot more financial sense than buying it or financing it. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the computer behind me. Thank you all for watching, and please don't forget to like and follow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on the Tesla website. Let's go ahead and click on Order Now. And what you're going to see here on the right-hand side is that it defaults automatically to lease, and you can lease an all-wheel drive model for $699 a month, and you can lease a CyberBeast for $1,499 a month. And the CyberBeast is with $5,000 down, as you can see here, and the all-wheel drive model is also with $5,000 down. So just in terms of value, without even running any calculations, the all-wheel drive is such a better lease deal in terms of value. Because look, the monthly lease payment is, essentially double on the CyberBeast, a little more than double. But if we look at the cash price of these vehicles, it's nowhere near double. So that right away tells me that the all-wheel drive model is a much better lease deal in terms of value. But let's go ahead and break down the details and look at this all-wheel drive CyberTruck in detail. So let's go ahead and click on Edit Leasing. And what that's going to do is bring up this box here where you can customize the lease. And what you're going to see right off the bat is the down payment is $5,000. Now, a lot of people get confused here and they think that this is the total amount that you're going to have to put down anytime you lease a car. But this does not include tax, title, license, registration fees, etc. So what we'll do now is click on this box where it says include estimated taxes and fees. And this will give you a much more accurate due at signing amount. And as you can see here, it's $8,140. And the monthly payment jumps to $782 because remember, monthly payments have sales tax on them as well. So it's approximately 10% here in Seattle. So it went from $699 to $782. Now, Tesla lets you dynamically adjust the term as well. So as you can see here, if we did a 24-month term, the payment goes up actually goes up quite a bit to $897. So I think 36 months is definitely the sweet spot in terms of leasing. And if you drive more than 10,000 miles a year, it's cheaper to get more mileage up front in your leasing contract than to pay the excess mileage penalty. So if you actually look down here in the fine print, you'll see that the excess mileage penalty is 25 cents per mile. So if you were to lease this car, right now it's at 30,000 miles in total. Let's say you drove 5,000 miles extra or 6,000 miles extra. You'd have to pay 25 cents a mile for each one of those 6,000 miles. Instead of paying 25 cents a mile, just get a 12,000 mile a year lease. And I don't know exactly what you'll pay, but you'll pay way less than 25 cents a mile. You'll end up paying, I think, about 10 to 12 cents a mile. So a substantial savings from that perspective. You'll also see that you have an additional rebate if you qualify for. If you're military, first responder, teacher, or student, you get an additional $1,000 off. And they also have a Lyft driver purchase program, which also gets you a $1,000 Tesla credit and a $1,000 cash rebate from Lyft. So $2,000, which is excellent. Now, if we go ahead and scroll down, you'll also see that the buyout amount is included on Teslas now as well. So you have the option to purchase this CyberTruck for $52,470 at the end of the lease term. Teslas, you weren't able to buy them at the end of the lease, but now you are. And this number dynamically adjusts, so if we increase the mileage, so let's just go back, it's $52,470. Now if we did a 15,000 mile a year lease, it should dynamically adjust to, it decreased to $51,651. So the residual value decreases because it's assuming that we're going to drive the car more over the course of the lease. So now in this part of the video, what I want to do is run my 1.25% rule of leasing on this Tesla CyberTruck all-wheel drive. Now my 1.25% rule of leasing is just a value metric. And what you do is you take the effective, zero down effective monthly payment and divide it by the vehicle's MSRP. And anytime you get a number over 1.5%, that vehicle typically makes more sense to finance than to lease. Under 1.5% is a vehicle that I would lease, and it's what I consider a good lease deal. If you get a number under 1.25%, that's what I consider a great lease deal, and under 1% is extremely rare, and that's an amazing lease deal, and leasing that vehicle is a financial no-brainer. So it really looks at the total out-of-pocket costs for set duration of the lease. So for over a 36-month term, if you're at 1.4%, let's say, so you're slightly under that 1.5%, typically leasing that car over 36 months is going to be much cheaper from a total out-of-pocket cost perspective than if you were to finance the same vehicle. But anyways, let's go ahead and run the 1.25% rule of leasing on this Tesla CyberTruck. So let's go ahead and bust out the handy dandy calculator. And what we're going to do is take the total due at signing amount. So with all taxes and fees included, it's $8,140 for this Tesla CyberTruck, as you can see right here. Then what we'll do is subtract the monthly payment since it's included in the due at signing amount. So remember, anytime you have the due at signing amount, it includes the first month's payment. So we'll subtract that out. That gives us $7,358. We'll divide this by 36 since it's a 36-month lease. And that takes that due at signing amount and breaks it up into 36 equal parts. That gives us $204. And then we'll add the monthly payment of $782 back in. And this will give us our zero down effective monthly payment. So essentially, if we multiplied this number, which is $986 by 36, that would be the total cost of the lease over 36 months. Now what we'll do is divide this by this vehicle's MSRP, $79,900. And when we do that, we get 1.23%. Now remember, we have to multiply by 100 to move the decimal point over 2 spots. And that gives us 1.23%. So as I mentioned before, anytime you're under 1.5%, that's a good deal. Under 1.25% is a great deal, and under 1% is an amazing deal. And this is coming in at under 1.25% at just 1.23%. So in my opinion, this is a great lease deal in terms of value. Now, in this part of the video, I want to explain why leasing a Tesla CyberTruck is a much better financial option than financing one. And there's really 3 main reasons for it. Okay, number 1 is if you lease it, more of you are going to qualify for the full $7,500 EV tax credit. If you lease it, your total out-of-pocket cost over 36 months is going to be substantially lower than if you were to finance the same truck. And the third reason that I would lease this Tesla CyberTruck is you're protected from negative equity, and you're taking depreciation risk off the table. So let's go ahead and jump into those 3 things and talk about them in more detail. All right, so let's actually compare the monthly finance payments to the monthly lease payment. Let's talk about it from a total out-of-pocket cost perspective. Now, if you were to finance this Tesla CyberTruck and put a total of $5,000 down and assumed you qualify for the $7,500 EV tax credit, your monthly payment would be $1,399 a month. Now, actually, if we don't include the $7,500 EV tax credit, because you have to meet these income limitations to qualify for the $7,500 EV tax credit, your monthly payment, it went away. Your monthly payment would be, actually, sorry about that. Your monthly payment would be $1,498 a month with $9,000 down. Now, I actually made a quick little sheet here to really bring this home. So if we look at the Tesla CyberTruck from an out-of-pocket perspective over 36 months, with leasing, assuming a $986 effective monthly payment times 36, you're looking at a total out-of-pocket cost over 36 months of $35,510. If you were to finance this Tesla CyberTruck without the $7,500 EV rebate, your monthly payment would be $1,498 times 36, which is $53,928. And if you add the down payment to that, which is $9,016, your total out-of-pocket cost over 36 months would be $62,944. And with the $7,500 rebate, if you financed, your monthly payment would be $1,399. So your total out-of-pocket cost over 36 months would be $55,364, which is still $20,000 more than if you were to lease this Tesla CyberTruck. And again, if you were to finance this Tesla CyberTruck, you have to meet the income thresholds or the income limitations. If you make more than $300,000 as a married couple filing jointly, you will not get the $7,500 EV tax credit. But if you lease, there are no income restrictions or income limitations. You could make $10 million a year on your taxes and still get the $7,500 EV tax credit. Plus, when you lease, you also get the downside protection, depreciation protection, right? So a lot of people will finance a truck like the Tesla CyberTruck, and then in 2 to 3 years, they want to go trade it in, only to find out they have, $10,000 of negative equity. So not only have you put more money down and had a much higher payment over that 36 months or 40 months or however long you keep it, but then when you go to trade it in, you also have to pay for that negative equity because somebody has to pay for that negative equity, and it becomes a very, very expensive proposition. And that's why I think leasing this truck makes a lot of financial sense. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it a video. If you have any questions about leasing, let me know in the comment section below. Financial knowledge is power. Please like and follow for more.